This is certainly a surprise. My daughter told me this morning that this would be much easier if it was an evening meal and alcohol was involved, and I wouldn't be putting people to sleep. It really would be much easier with a teleprompter, but I promised Brad I wouldn't get political. I have some notes, even have some notes written on my hand. If you catch me reading from time to time, it doesn't mean what I'm saying that isn't coming from the heart. And if I start reading from George's notes, you know I'm on the wrong speech. Since we don't have a teleprompter again, I am going to be using my notes and talking a little bit about some of the photos that you saw of my family. You may not have seen any pictures of me working up there. That doesn't mean that I didn't. Also, the photos of me up there were actually taken of someone else. I just happened to be in the picture. There's none of me by myself. George, I want to thank you for this honor. I consider it a true privilege. I always considered it a privilege for anything that I was asked to do for PSDA all the way back in NBFA days. And I do consider this a true privilege. When I was notified that I won the President's Award, I thought first that it was a mistake. And secondly, I hope that I don't tarnish the value of it for the people that have won or the people that will win in the future. So I truly am very honored. I always took pride in the fact when someone from PSDA asked me to do something, I was always the first one asked that didn't say no. I was told that I'd have about 2 minutes, and I'm maybe 15 seconds into that now, but as many of you know, I have retired, effective January 1st of this year. I don't answer to Roy Flesh anymore. Roy couldn't make it today. Something came up that he couldn't be here, but I don't answer to Roy anymore. And this is probably the last PSDA function that I'll attend, so there's no way to punish me for going over my 2 minutes. Friends that know me well know that baseball is my first love after God, family, and country. And as I look out at a lot of young faces, I wonder, baseball players today not knowing the history of the game and where the players were before them that broke that ground and made it easier for them to play today. And I look at young faces and I'm wondering, do we really know that the industry really lost a Stan Musial recently? Scud Flesh, we saw his picture earlier, Royal Scud Flesh, passed away suddenly a few weeks ago. Scud was a past president of the association. He was very instrumental back in the middle 40s when the Independent Dealers Association was first formed. His wife Annie passed suddenly within 72 hours of Scud's passing. They had been married 67 years. They were both 91 and a half years old and lived a very healthy life. They lived a full life, full of class, leading to them to go out in style. The industry also lost another icon. We saw Michael O'Hara's picture. Our Michael O'Hara was a true giver and a true sharer, and I'd be amiss if I didn't mention him also. I think he's touched lives of many people in here today. And Mike was actually an oxymoron. He was an Irish gentleman. Oh, let's raise our glasses to Michael. Here. Thank you. This moment for me is like any industry event or anything else in my life. The reason it's friends, and I count all of you out there as my friends. Some much closer than others, but it is about friends. So what I'd like to do is thank the PSDA staff. And I'm not talking about Brad sitting down here, or Peter, or Dennis, or Mike Cransoller, or my friend Dave Murley. I'm talking about the Charlie Roberts, the Pam Deckers, the Helen Joneses, the people behind the scenes. And I will guarantee you that some of those people that you may not know behind the scenes working for you every day have made this meeting much more successful for you and your membership more successful. So I thank them tremendously. Secondly, flesh company customers. There are several of you in the audience. I don't want to name a lot of names, but I see a Charlie Comas. I see people sitting and again, I don't want to go into a lot of names. George Crump with FRI. There's some RDO people here. I see John Wallace. And I want to thank you, customers. You made it fun, and that's what this has all been about. Next, competitors. And I don't know if Bob Saunders is here. I think he's a true gentleman, a true competitor. Somebody like Dave Erickson with this. I enjoy being around those people and enjoy talking shop with those people. So I thank them very much. Not to be left out, some of my fellow vendors, I know that we see each other on the road doing trade shows and spending time together. A lot of us become very close friends. I consider the Bill Heidies, the Jim Fosters, the Bud Limbles. Even though I've been retired for 5 months, they're still close friends, and I still talk to them on a regular basis. And I see my friend Lynn Root here also, so it's nice to have friends. I've always enjoyed my relationship with our vendors. And I'll not go into a lot of names, but the Appleton guys and the people at Meade have always been great vendors. I've always enjoyed my association with them. But one, Tom Yeager, who I asked to sit at my table today with Stratatac, not only a good vendor to the Flesh Company, but he's a personal friend of mine, also a neighbor. And what made him such a good vendor, he always volunteered to come cut my grass or wash the car, anything that I would ask. So thank you, Tom. Thank you for being my friend. Sitting at our table today also is Jim Ruggiero. Jim and I've had the pleasure of working with Jim. I don't know that he would tell you it's a pleasure, but we've known each other for the past 35 years. We watched each other's family grow up, and it's been fun, Jim. Thank you very much for being my friend. The industry and the Flesh Company may have lost our Stan the Man, but the Flesh Company is going to be okay because they've got an Albert Pujols. Roy Flesh, hands down, is the best person in the industry, bar none. The best employee. He's the one that actually made it possible for me to be up here today. He not only allowed me to do this, he actually pushed me to do it and to get more involved with PSDA. It was in the FA back in the day. So, again, I'm glad Roy Flesh is my friend. I wish you were here today. Something came up and he couldn't be here. We have a saying at the lake, we have a condo there, we have a saying that treat your friends like family and your family like friends. 3 of my best friends are here at my table today. My wife and my 2 children. My daughter Jennifer is the mother of my 2 grandchildren. Works in the St. Louis marketplace selling medical supplies. And my son Jeff took a temporary job with the Flesh Company 21 years ago. So we're not sure whether that's going to last or not. They're the reason that I passed the CFC exam. The first time I took the test, I failed 3 sections of it and I was going to blow it off. They were in their high school and middle school years, and my wife says, what kind of an example is that? So I went out and passed it the very next time. So thank you guys. 2 of my other best friends are not here today. Mike, who is the father of my grandchildren, works for a company called FarmFast. He's VP of Sales, and he's probably out there calling on your customers today. They sell outdoor farm automation, so it's one of the things that are putting us old farm guys out of business. Chris, my daughter-in-law, also not here today, works for a company that sells automated billing systems for dental offices and doctor's offices. Reason they couldn't be here today, my 4 kids surprised me with a cruise at the end of March for my retirement. So there was some time taken off of work that it was difficult for them to schedule to be here. For Jennifer, it was simple. She's a good salesperson. She usually takes Mondays and Fridays off anyway. Jeffrey has a lot of vacation time. He's he's reluctant to take it, but